and a reserved howdy from all my respectful goobers out there. I would like to take this time in the marathon to recognize the passing of the captain of our ship. I want us to recognize no memes, no F's in chat. Just I want us to recognize 1 minute of silence for our dear departed Walt Disney, starting now. All right, now welcome to Animanic with Comic Auzi and my darling doe, DF.
Hi, can I just say thank you, Walt? You've brought people together, including you and me, babe.
Yeah, and thank God for that. Where tonight we will be observing literally the last thing that he ever had his hands on, like, at all. And that being the Aristocats, like literally the last thing that he would have ever been involved with.
Well, maybe not counting, like, at least part of Winnie the Pooh.
That is true. At least like the first short or two, he had a hand in, or at least he was alive for. But yeah, the Aristocats, yet again bringing on the songwriting duo of the Sherman Brothers. And well, let's give our preconceptions of this. I don't know if that was Min in the background. I don't think so. Probably one of my other siblings, actually, if I'm being perfectly honest. So DF, what is your familiarity with this movie?
I've always loved it because kitty cats. And yeah, and you know, it's one of those Disney movies that I'd watch over and over again as a kid. And kitty cats.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Also, a very underrated Disney couple in this movie.
Well, everybody should be getting this movie up on Disney Plus ready, because there will be a 10-second warning in front of it for, if anybody who knows the movie, obvious reasons. It may only be like 8 bars of the song, but those 8 bars are pretty uncomfortable bars of the song. So yeah, but all intents and purposes, you better skip that 10-second warning, because otherwise the movie is fun. Like, you know, I don't think the Aristocats had a sequel, Scribe. At least none that I know of.
No.
Yeah. No.
They would plan for one, but it was scrapped.
That's true. They also planned, I remember seeing teasers for the Dumbo direct-to-video sequel.
You know, I would have preferred seeing an Aristocats 2 over the Fox and the Hound 2.
Hell yeah. Fox and the Hound 2, Lady and the Tramp 2 I haven't seen, and then 101 Dalmatians 2 is just baller.
Lady and the Tramp 2 is actually one of the better ones.
Alright, well, I think that's about enough preamble. Everybody get your copy ready, and be mindful that I am watching via home media, and this copy does have the 90s Disney logo in front of it, so keep that in mind. So, we're going to go ahead and try to sync up our stuff in about 3, 2, 1, go.
Dude, aren't you forgetting something?
I got you. And your Disney Plus should start about now.
Yeah, this friend. So yes, Maurice Chevalier. He came out of retirement to sing this song.
He was definitely, wasn't he like Walt's go-to French guy for a while? Like in a
I'm
lot
not
of the
sure.
live action stuff, or like in a lot of his like
Really?
albums and stuff. Like he was kind of the go-to
so
French
this is-
guy.
Okay, so this was based on a story. It was inspired by real events. These cats who
Saw Milt
were
Kahl's name on there.
who did inherit a fortune.
Phil Harris again.
Phil Harris again, and Eva
Eva
Gabor
Gabor.
in her first.
In her first Disney role,
first
but not her last.
Yeah, until Lord Tim Hudson.
So
we saw
Ravenscroft is
as
the
a
Russian
buzzard.
cat. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Lord Tim Hudson was a buzzard in The Jungle Book.
Ah.
Pat Buttram and George Lindsay.
I really
First
love
time
them.
we're gonna see them together. In
Bill
this one,
Thompson as
in
Uncle
Disney.
Waldo.
This was Bill Thompson's last role too.
God rest his soul too.
Oh yeah,
Character
lasted for quite a few
animation,
decades.
effects animation. Dan McManus. I feel like I should know that name.
But yeah, O'Malley the Alley Cat was written by Terry Gilkis.
So the songs are by Richard.
Everybody
I
Wants to
don't
Be
know
a Cat
why.
was written by different people.
It's so interesting because sometimes the songs that we know the best from these movies weren't even written by the funny. Like everybody
I
wants
guess
to be
they
a
got
cat.
people who. I think they got people who are more expert in jazzy numbers.
You know, that would make some sense. But I would love to hear what, like, the living Sherman brother could do with a jazzier number. Because it probably sounds very
Wolfgang
cute,
Reitherman
you know?
worked on this as well.
He is kind of a go-to director for Disney
It
animation.
kind of was. Ever since 101 Dalmatians, he was a go-to
Paris
director.
in 1910. Hey, we actually have, like, a time period, like, stated out front at the start of the movie.
Versus Lady and the Tramp, where we kind of had to guess.
Also, I love Berlioz's blue eyes. They're just so pretty. Actually, all of their blue eyes are pretty, but I think up against the black fur it really stands out. I love
we'll
the
talk
song
about
as
Edgar.
well. Oh, Edgar is a lot of fun. And lead animator Milt Kahl, you can tell. Just look at this guy. And the way he waggles his head back and forth when he talks is very Milt Kahl. I love Frou Frou as well. I always forget she's here, but like then I see her pulling the carriage and it's just, she's so pretty. Yeah, Frou Frou is a queen. She really owns it.
Yes, and Madame, yeah. Madame shows you can be an old lady, single, and be perfectly happy and rich.
That's true. It's like,
She's not entirely helpless. She's not helpless either. Like, it's like I can carry myself.
it's even better. It's like, in the same vein as like Mary Poppins, there's kind of a thing teased between her and the attorney, but they are just friends, you know? They're just really close friends, and I love that, you know? It's just like, they know each other, and they're completely platonic. And here's that rotoscoping effect that was done on Cruella de Vil's car, once again done for the attorney's car here.
But you know, Dyke, when he's old.
When he's playing an old man, yeah, I feel that.
I know. I mean, when he's old now, it's like the way he is now.
Which I mean, like, with Mary Poppins, we kind of got a preview when he played the old banker, so. And then he came back to reprise his role as an old baker in the new Mary Poppins, so that was fun. Oh, I love the jittery old man look. You know, the Haunted Mansion opened at Disneyland in 1969. And so it was being worked on around the same time as the Aristocats. So I wouldn't be surprised if the attorney's crotchety old look with the hair on the side and the top hat was partially influenced by the Hatbox Ghost. You know? Elevators are for old. Yeah, he's not that old. He's no spring chicken, but
He just doesn't. He's just a
and then to add on to that Haunted Mansion thing, look at Edgar's striped undergarments there. Kind of reminds me of the guy on the barrel of dynamite in the stretching room.
Yeah, So people hate on old cat ladies, but this woman's just
She dotes
here's
on her
something we gotta
cats
take
very
into
well.
account. Like
She
nobody
takes
can be a
care
cat
of them.
lady unless they are loaded to take care of all those cats.
What's even better about that, like, loaded to take care of all those cats, she only has 4 cats, and 3 of those are kittens. It's like, she's not the craziest cat lady in the world. Even when she decides, like, by the end of the movie to do what she does.
Their eyes are suddenly black.
They're probably being drawn
freaky.
as dot eyes from a distance.
That looked so freaky for a second, though. You noticed how the cats are animated differently when the humans are in the scene?
You know, I think personally it's just a different animator animating the cats, honestly.
Like, their face shapes are different, you know?
I think it's a scale thing and different animators animating the characters is all.
Yeah, I think it's intentional because when it's on the focus of the cats, they're more distinct.
Okay, no, yeah, Toulouse's eyes being all black was not dot eyes. That was actually kind of scary. That is what they call a coloring error. And it can't be fixed because this is hand-painted cells. You can't really fix that.
Yeah, so yeah.
I love this.
Madame is a retired opera singer. That's how she got all her money.
That would make sense.
She said that she played Carmen. You know, yeah.
Again, none of them have French accents except for, like, what, the geese? No, even the geese are British.
Well, they say they're from Britain.
That's true. At least for those guys. I love this old man's animation, by the way.
The milk guy's French.
That's right.
And
He
that's
does. I remember there was a French accent in this movie, and I love the way the glasses look on him. The way he does the little screwing thing, even though there's absolutely no screw on those. Even the walls have ears. I get the reason for having those things, but it's like, that's just asking for eavesdropping, isn't it?
Now, this is one of the rare moments we actually see the origins
and you
of
see
the
that
Disney villain.
You see that smile, like, that he's giving. That is very much like the smile. Always love that face. That is a laugh out loud comedy face if I ever saw one. But, like, the smile he was giving when he heard about having all that money is the same smile I was pointing out on different characters in Sleeping Beauty. Milk Hall owned this character in this movie. Like, legit.
Yeah, and here we see the origins of the Disney villain.
You know, it's even...
Because he starts out, you know, he's a good servant. He's loyal to his employer. But it's then in this moment that you know, he goes down the dark path. Yeah. I mean, whereas like Jafar was kind of always nefarious. This. You know, and he doesn't even think of killing the cats or you know, killing his employer or anything. Just
well, no, he does go for killing the cats. He puts them to sleep and then tries to drown him, but we're not there yet.
yes, but no, he doesn't.
Those should be Euro signs. Okay, Blue
I
Heart.
mean, what he could have done
let's be fair. This movie is made for Americans. And besides, exchange rates would mean that he could get that money in dollars if he wanted.
Ooh.
Ow.
It shows they were playing up until that point.
Yeah. I want to point out that all of their color palettes are beautiful. They all have blue eyes to show that they're all related. But Marie's got
Oh, this line.
Yeah, that's a good line.
That's how girls should be.
But I love how you can see their different color palettes. Marie's, like, ears and bow make her, like, a really pink. Okay, it looks like he's got green eyes.
Their designs are much more distinct and detailed. Now the focus is on them. I think that's a directorial choice.
Yeah, you might be right. We'll have to see when it shows up later when Edgar's trying to send him to Timbuktu. But, like, I didn't notice he has green eyes and then a blue bow. And then Berlioz has that black fur, red bow tie. Love it, by the way. And then Duchess has the golden neck piece, and it's like, dude, like, the color palettes on these characters are also what make them pretty distinct.
So I'm kind of wondering, I've always wondered why Deleuze looked so much like Thomas.
I think it's because there's that roundness in the face, and of course the orange color palette.
So now I'm starting to wonder if maybe Duchess had a type.
That's a distinct possibility.
She likes the orange.
But there's another kind of bold assumption that I was even making just now, that these kittens are hers.
Yes, they are hers.
It's Dr. Restwell's sleeping pills. That's a great name. I just put the whole shit in it. And put all the nicest flavors in it. I love this moment. It only makes sense when you're older. But yeah, the whole wagging the head back and forth while talking is a very milk call thing to do. Big flex. Big animator flex.
Now, people don't really understand the point of this scene, but it's really to show that, yes, they live this very privileged and sophisticated life.
Yeah.
In contrast to what we're going to see them do next time that they're interacting with the piano.
It's like the important thing. Yeah. I always love that moment.
This is like siblings at their peak, at its peak. That's just mean. That tattletale. That's just mean.
You were being rude, blatantly, in the same room. That's not exactly something that's tattletale worthy.
I just love that Duchess's gentle approach, even when she's,
Well, here's the thing. Going into that musical theater structure that I was talking about way back, like with Alice in Wonderland and such.
That moment there when Marie's like catching herself, like, I love that.
It's like, it really does feel like a kid. Actually, the kid probably just did that in the recording booth, and then the animators animated it. It was like, it's just how it works. And these kids aren't terrible. They're actually pretty decent singers. Especially Marie. Like, she's probably the best singing voice out of them.
I honestly want to see how accurately that piano's animated.
It is not. It is absolutely not. Because he doesn't have enough... Like, you can hear notes that are not being played because he doesn't have fingers and hands.
And when you remember, they're still cats.
Yep. But, like, how the Aristocats is our opening number being sung by an omniscient narrator, then this is our I Want song in a way. They don't want more than this privileged life that they've lived all the time. And it's like, this is their comfort zone. They love it here. They're about to be thrown out of their comfort zone, and that's the dramatic irony. We know Edgar's got a plot. He's going to put them to sleep. We know that much. But we don't know what's going to happen after that. And also, this is just a lot of fun with the... Actually, it's funny, there was a family friends that we used to have, who, like, they had piano, their kids used for piano lessons, and they did this thing where they actually, and I'm sure other people have done this before as well, where they colored the piano notes to know what they are.
And look. Now look at their faces,
Yeah, they are just kitty-fied. But then, when we get up close...
See, even right here, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it really feels like a directorial choice. Like when the focus is on the cats, they're a lot more detailed. The focus on humans, they're less detailed.
Yeah, it's also like when you draw them from a distance, their eyes are a little bigger. Now here's the adorable dot-eyed Sterling Holloway character.
You remember when I said yesterday that?
Yeah.
I wonder if what they were thinking, like, okay, we gotta put Sterling Holloway in here somehow.
It's what Walt would have wanted.
I mean, he's already been a cat, so we can't have him be a cat again. Oh, what if we have him be a mouse? That's the opposite of a cat. Yeah, sure.
And again, this is also important to show how refined these cats are, that Roquefort is a friend.
A scribe is saying, I wish I had sleeping pills that worked that fast.
Well, no. He put in the whole damn bottle. And also, the cats are much smaller than humans, and the mouse is much smaller than them. Which is why it works on Roquefort so quickly, even though he's barely had some. You know? See, that's the thing. It's like, the small bodies to the ratio of how much sleeping pill that they're having is the reason why they fall asleep so quickly. So the cats have been going at it for a while, but the mouse is, like... It's so funny, there's actual logic to it. The cats are so small, so the whole bottle of sleeping pills puts them to sleep after a while, and the mouse, being smaller, goes to sleep immediately. Just conks right out. Also, love that Rockabye Baby is being played in a very sinister tone as the background music here. I think I always liked that. That was just so funny to me.
Yeah. Like, yes, so we're leaving the sweetness, and now we're going to the conflict.
Anybody else getting Pink Panther vibes from this?
I mean, this was like a couple years after the first movie came out.
You know what's a little disappointing? That most film orchestras didn't allow for saxophones. Which is kind of an essential jazz instrument, so we're just getting all this, like, trumpet and trombone stuff. But I think we really need some saxophone in there.
You know, I love how they show us that Toulouse does indeed open his eyes and sees. Yeah. That's continuity.
Yep. Love that joke. That's funny. And this one as well. This movie is a cartoon. This movie is so much fun. Notre Dame de Paris.
Notre Dame. We'll see you in a couple of decades.
Yes, we will. I mean, a couple of decades for us is what, like a few weeks, maybe a few months.
Yeah. You know, Disney has a lot of movies that take place in France.
Actually, I think it's super fitting. I don't think we should... I think we should stream on Halloween because that will be Hunchback of Notre Dame and it'd be perfect.
It will?
Hellfire. It would be perfect. Yeah, it lines up perfectly.
And here's Pat Buttram, the first time we get him in these Disney movies.
I love these two little bumpkin characters.
Yeah, these American country bumpkins in the middle of France.
At least it's the French countryside. Again, I think part of the reason why they do that, especially for a lot of these animated American movies and from Disney, is because if you wanted to convey that they live in the countryside, even if it's the French countryside, you give them country voices that the audience is familiar with, you know?
Rank it.
Because different... Love this.
I'm wondering if they would go. That picture says charged a lot, doesn't he?
Kind of hello moment here.
Charge! Now, I don't think he was really intending to drown them because, you know, he really could have just poisoned them then and there.
I mean, he could have, but that would be way too suspicious. Better to put them to sleep so that you go off and drown them, and then they...
then he sends them to Timbuktu.
I guess...
Just to, like, directly kill them. Try to kill them, you know?
I suppose. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Fizzy's like...
I've only really taken notice of everything he said.
Now, Fizzy's saying, what does a French country accent sound like? Wait a second. I have relatives that should know those accents. Why don't I know?
Oh, boy.
Yes, Ryder, we know. Lafayette and Napoleon. We get the reference, okay?
Yeah. One thing I like, once again, the similar 3D model stop motion, physical hand-built model stop motion rotoscoping is being done for the motorbike and the sidecar here. Again, we're just in a real friggin' cartoon moment here. Just a lot of fun. Again, this movie... Again, this movie is not afraid to be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, probably gotta give some of that credit to the animators, but also probably Wolfgang Reitherman. Like, he did a lot of directing for Disney, and a lot of the other movies were at least as silly as this.
So this scene kind of scared me as a kid. Like, the mix of the thunder and the, we'll get there.
I do understand.
I love how that's her first thought, yes. Like, where are my babies?
Oh my god, poor
the baby!
The littlest one. Oh, that is just so innocent.
Yeah, like, give judges credit. They're like, this is a scary situation, but she's trying to keep it together for her kids.
Yeah. Oh,
here we go. Here comes the scary moment the moment that scared me.
Yeah. Oh.
How the hell did they make a frog that scary?
I mean, you see its glowing eyes out of the dark, and then you finally make it out.
I'd run like, as a kid, I'd run like Berlioz. It just did. On the lighting and that.
This is also a great moment where it's like, no, these two, and then he's the only one who actually, you know.
That was pretty much how I would act whenever my brother did something silly, you know. Like,
love this.
Mikey's been hiding in his room.
Love that. That is attention to detail that he's the only one who opened his eyes at the last minute.
Yeah, that lightning and that scared me too when I was a kid.
Now, this scene didn't scare me, but this right here. The whole, like, being inside the basket and looking out on the rain and that whole canopy like a tent, like, that shot made me think, oh, wow, just being able to look out onto the cold with an open window of, like, tent sheets just feels so comfy, you know?
Oh, my God.
It feels
These
so
guys
comfortable.
are going Bella in the comments. How do you make
a lot of frogs.
And my cat never really sleeps in just one place, so
Oh my. I think we could draw a lot of parallels between this scene and the scene from 101 Dalmatians, which just
yeah.
the tone with which she's saying it, the cold night,
yeah, missing beloved pets, and
yeah, and of course, like just like.
Heart tattoos, like, for an old woman, she has it going on.
And then Roquefort goes outside. This man, he's trying his best. Give him some credit. He went
but
at great risk.
Him. He's pretty much the predecessor of the Rescuers, and then Basil of Baker Street.
I mean, this mouse, he went for it. Like, oh, great risk to himself, but he wouldn't rest. He wouldn't be able to sleep if anything bad happened to them.
Here comes the best Disney step-parent.
Yep.
I always love the way he just struts in there.
It's a very cat. It's like, look at how a cat moves, now turn it into a dance. Animators are really good at that kind of shit.
And I love that, like, she's just, like, immediately, like, oh, he's kind of cute.
He's a charming guy. Look at his bright yellow eyes and the...
You know, he wasn't even performing for anyone specifically until...
He's got those white mitts and the white spot on the end of his tail.
My cat has his white mitts.
You can really see, like, her perfectly groomed, fluffy tail, and this guy's scruffy, matted look, just how the fur is so against him.
Cute cat, I'm jumping right in. But she knows exactly what he's doing, too.
Yeah. Well, they are both cats.
I was like, oh yeah, she's accepted.
Okay, I want to point out
look at what she's doing.
I want to point out that we can all tell that it's Phil Harris, but it's a completely different character than Baloo.
Yeah.
Like, he has such a different vibe. Baloo was very carefree and fun-loving, and this guy is really, well...
She's just like, oh yeah, I'm just casually taking a bath.
He's just a real...
myself.
He's a charmer. Like, this guy's a charmer is what he is.
Meanwhile, Duchess is just pretending not to be interested, but she's really just fixing her fur, you know?
Yeah. Again, I can definitely see this as something cats would actually do. I want to point out that the animation on the tail didn't follow through properly. It looks like they actually played the same animation backward for a minute there. And walking backwards. Again, this movie is a budget movie. Yeah. Get in the groove. Hey, I mean, it's a good number. You can't help but dance to this.
Toulouse is just like,
he's just into
I found my role model. He's like, I found my role model. It's like,
look at him. He's getting in the groove. Where did Berlioz go, though?
No, he was there. He was just cut off on the side.
New dad alert. Thank you, Scribe. Oh, that's definitely Milt Call with the moving head and the talking at the same time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's Milt Call's work. I can even see by the smile.
Those eyes are suddenly all blue.
But they've always been all blue.
But look how the kids are just all slowly falling in love with him in their own way.
Yeah. She loves the lovey-dovey between Tomcat and her mama, and the other two just get into how, charming this guy is in the...
these two and their banter is adorable.
Yeah.
Not quite Shakespeare. Of course not. It's pure O'Malley, baby. Nice save there, pal.
Yeah.
I look at how he's on his tummy. He's like...
Yeah.
You're inviting me along on a walk? Whole new world. Uh, uh,
She's a package deal, dude.
and the moment he realized he'd been getting his flirt on in front of kids.
Let's be perfectly honest, though. I think he's really into the idea of being a papa. Like, he's
No.
Like.
He's like, did I say that in front of these kids?
Like, at least he warms up to them eventually.
Yeah.
Because he's never really had to deal with kids before, but he hits it off with them really early. Like, he does his whole little magic act with the milk can.
I love how she's just calling him out. Oh. Yeah, I get it. I'm too much baggage.
You know, give some credit to the...
Look at her.
Yeah, actually, there's
That sigh. That sigh.
Kid, he's way too old for you, and you are way too young to be thinking about that sort of thing.
No. I don't think it's like that. She's seen him like, this is the ideal daddy.
Yeah.
My aunt was that way too. She realized she had a thing for older men, but then realized she just was looking for a replacement for her dad.
Yeah.
And then realized she was gay.
You know, I'd buy it.
This animation right here.
Yeah. Again, he really owns up to the idea,
Right.
like, you know, I should help him.
They're a nice family, and they're in trouble. Yes. Yeah, I think this is Disney's very first good step-parent.
Yeah?
Probably, well, one of the only. I think the only time we see a good step-parent, again, I can think of at the top of my head is Phineas and Ferb. Unless I'm missing something. I don't know.
I love how slick this guy is.
Children, I raised you better than that.
And once again, the same run. Ooh, actually, I'm wondering if they just recolored Jasper and Horace's car, because that looks like Jasper and Horace's car. Like they're reusing the same model. Love that.
That's a jump scare. Because it's just so quiet and then...
And there's that Cruella de Vil
I think
screech
that's the
sound
same-
effect.
I think that's the same cat hiss from 101 Dalmatians as well.
A lot of reused 101 Dalmatians sound effects with the car screeching to a stop. And he's like, help him out, but only as far as I go. This is where I end. Except for disaster. You know,
why is it always Marie that falls off? Oh, but this animation here is from 101 Dalmatians. Just
yeah, right there. I want to point out that, Charmer. I gotta point out that, this movie might have been where Pixar got its writing rules. Something must always
Little
go,
princess.
like, if something goes wrong, like, things should never go right for the characters, they should usually go wrong for the characters. It's like, just everything going left and right and just so terribly wrong for them. This is a really sweet moment.
Yeah. They don't really explain much of Thomas, like, yeah, humans don't really care much for their pets. They don't really go into that backstory.
I mean, he's just a loner street cat, and it's like, he likes that life.
No plan. He said that he doesn't have to worry about what road to take.
Yeah, the road I take is the road I make. So it's like, he finds a few flings and one-night stands, and then he's off. It's like, but when she came up to be a package deal, he was like, oh, I really don't want to ruin this family dynamic. I should step away. So he's still a bit of a gentleman.
Yeah, this dialogue was originally a song. But you know, I think it kind of works as just this little monologue here.
Yeah.
It's sadder.
Yeah. Poor Mouse can only go as far as he can.
I mean, you're using your pet. I mean, and
here comes one of the
pets are like
seriously.
the only family she has. The only real family. Edgar doesn't count.
I want to point out.
He doesn't care.
She will not. I love Edgar's animation. He's just great.
Le Journal de Paris. Yet the rest is in English.
I want to point. It's so funny. It's so funny. He's actually.
Oh, that was seemingly random.
Seriously though, like Edgar, like.
Yeah, you're right, Squad. If you consider that the cats are the only family she has, leaving the money to them isn't that stupid in that from her perspective? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's so cruel. I'm also gonna point out, like, with Edgar, like, he is the most fun animations in this movie aside from the attorney.
Oh, I love this moment. This is
where
like
he
his
actually
first real dad moment, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Aw, it's so cute. Yep. It's so sweet. Don't fall.
Like, you made it fun for them in this stressful situation.
And then
oh god. That is pretty much how what would happen if it was.
And then everything went wrong once again.
Always I think that was from 101 Dalmatians too. Stop picking up on the.
Yep.
And that animation again.
Yep. I mean, it's a budget movie. Now this right here, that's not the safest thing to do.
As a Squad says, oh god, you guys are just so mean. Yeah, this is kind of how brothers and sisters go.
It's really cute.
Huge no. Huge no, of course.
And you jinxed it, Toulouse. You jinxed it, Toulouse.
I mean, I grew up with only one sibling. You grew up with a bunch.
Yeah.
Was this pretty much how you guys were?
Oh yeah, no. Siblings are like that a lot. You know, very, very cute, and also get on each other's nerves. It's this. But they still love each other. Exactly.
It's the banter.
And off she goes again.
Why is it always Marie though? It's.
She's the littlest one. She's the littlest one.
For sure, it's not because she's the girl.
Well, I think it's both. I mean, I'm obviously implying she's the littlest one just because she is the only girl kitten there.
Miss O'Malley always leaping in to save the kittens.
Again, he does.
He's a real trooper.
Like, he was like, he respected that they were a family, and which is why he was gonna leave that situation and not ruin the family dynamic they had going. Oh, sure, blame her for it. But I gotta point out, like, the thing is, like, he's got sympathy and empathy for them, and he's slowly growing to care about them on a deeper level because he's spending so much time. It's Stockholm syndrome, really.
Take notes, men out there. This is how you should behave around women you like.
Be polite. Oh yes, the goose music is so great. It just sounds like geese walking. It's like,
yeah, I always loved that. Like,
because the music
was one of those tunes that would get stuck in my head.
Because the music sounds like waddling, and it also has a lot of like woodwinds to make it sound birdy.
You know, this is funny to watch now that I actually am a swim instructor.
Right.
I mean, I imagine it would be different for animals, but
yeah.
okay, I agree with that, but it's supposed to ease them into it too.
And off he goes.
Hey, I mean, we do want people when they're learning to swim to gain some confidence by moving on their own, but also you do it
trying to get anything you can.
Especially when you notice that they're at the bottom and not coming up.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Off they go.
I almost drowned.
Oh, you know, pretty normal.
This has been swimming advice IDF. Okay. I love a fluffy tail. Fluffy white tail. See, now they're actually British.
Yep.
And meanwhile, Eva Gabor actually, she sounds closest to French than everybody else.
Absolutely.
She's Hungarian. You little baby kid. I've met ladies like this who will just laugh at everything they say. It kind of gets on my nerves, to be honest. I'm on Thomas's side. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll be polite for your sake.
They find it so amusing. She's getting a little. She's getting a little.
It's like that's like the one time I see her mad in this movie.
At O'Malley specifically as well.
She's like, hey, that was a slight, dude.
Oh.
Man, this is 1910.
1910.
He was smiling at the cute kitten, though.
She doesn't know better.
He's like, okay, I'll take that,
She
right?
really doesn't know better. She's a kid.
Let's get away from these crazy chicks.
He's just about ready to ditch him.
I'm with him, though. Some personalities just clash.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not much, you know. He's only being as polite as they are being to him, which is not very much.
Yep. Off they go.
I mean, you can kind of obviously tell those are layers over the background, but
Yeah, cause they're doing the budget thing where they're not using the multiplane camera.
Blue Heart Tattoo says that they would reenact the goose walk in the school hallway.
Just waddle around. Yeah.
And here comes Bill Thompson.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, you're alive! Oh, the drunken jokes of Disney. Now here the layers are a lot less obvious. See, he sounds like the dodo, but drunk.
Yep. I love.
I never quite understood that as a kid.
Same. Honestly, like the old men in this movie, between Uncle Waldo, Edgar, and the attorney, they're just so much fun to watch. Yeah, I love the. Again, I really do love the drunken slur. It just really adds to this. He's sloshed. Somebody got to get him home. No, I don't think Bill Thompson came to the studio drunk. I think he's just a really good character actor, is what it is.
R.I.P. Bill Thompson.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like a real drunken slur. It sounds like one that's being performed. I think you can tell.
After 20 years or so.
I think you can tell when a drunken slur isn't like an actual drunken slur. Yep.
Yeah, Bill Thompson, you served Disney well for the 20 years he did.
Yep. You better not leave this hat.
They planned ahead with the fishing pole.
Yep.
Not the right place to say, Mousy.
Yep. Hold on. I think it was my mother or father who pointed out that without the aid of modern-day LEDs, that light shouldn't be red with the red thing, with the red cover shattered.
That hiccup there was the same one used in Sword of the Stone with Archimedes' hiccup. Hi!
And back with Lafayette and Napoleon.
We're going to see one of my other favorite lines from this movie.
Yeah.
Actually, quite a few other favorite lines.
Off he goes. Off he goes.
I mean, they're already established as shoes are pretty squeaky.
Yeah. All the way back at the barn.
They do in James and the Giant Peach.
This isn't Dallas McKennon who did a lot of these like old crotchety prospector type voices for Disneyland, including the original Big Thunder line, like "Wildest Ride in the Wilderness." But this seems like
no. He's just like, what color are they? Well, they're how would I know that?
But he correctly identifies the color too before he says that. I love it. But it definitely sounds like
we'll see that
very
animation later.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like a Dallas McKennon type character. You know.
But it's Pat Buttram.
Yeah.
We do a lot of Disney voices up until Goofy movie.
Yeah. Mm.
He's like, one of the most recognizable voices you'll find in Disney movies.
Yeah. Doing that old country voice.
It was in Back to the Future Part 3 as well, I think.
Yeah.
I'm the leader, I'll say what it was.
Help me out here, Edgar. How does stealing the hat from a dog help you stay undercover?
Yeah, I mean, the police will have to look in this area to even...
Yeah.
need a reason to look over here. So I don't know where's going on. I'll be just...
I didn't even think Interpol would
Edgar's
go
like...
this far out to the countryside for any trouble.
Now, this makes me kind of wonder something about...
He's just giving him a scratch, a massage.
No, listen to the line.
Yeah.
Listen to what they say.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder about their relationship a bit.
Are they gay or European?
See? Well, they ain't European,
And...
that's for sure.
Well, no, they are. They're in the French countryside. Just because they have the American country bumpkin voices doesn't mean they aren't French country bumpkins. Again, like I'm saying, they're doing what's familiar to the audience.
They're both gay and European. Can I just say, as a queer person and also as a person who's lived in Europe for a while, I find nothing wrong with that song. This is kind of true. He also doesn't kick him out, It's just like,
I mean,
give me space.
Some couples sleep in different beds.
Oh, here comes my
Yep.
my favorite line. I think I know what it is.
Aww.
That.
Yeah, that
the
was
animation and the delivery of that line.
Yeah, I love it. It's very friggin' Muppety.
It's got to be like a gift somewhere, Where's my Betty by
I
basket?
think it is. I think you just gotta search Aristocats Betty by Basket GIF on Google, and I think you'll find it. Honestly. It's such a great moment. You just bump it up. Up. Oh, ear to the ground. By force, even. Yep. You found it. Winnie the Pooh does a similar thing with Pooh and Piglet running around the back of a tree and then kind of bumping into each other, right?
I think so.
No. But it's a one-wheel haystack. Whoops.
It is. You're not gonna believe this, but it's a one-wheeled haystack. Yeah, and what do you know? I actually speak French.
Yeah. Like I said, they're French country bumpkins. Even if they have the American country bumpkin accent.
And here is, coming up, hands down, best, also worst part of the movie.
Yes. Here we are. There's the Eiffel Tower,
Number
the
of
Arc de
times.
Triomphe, and Notre Dame de Paris. You know, I don't know about the painting of it, but I think those landmarks are pretty close together. Like, France's Paris even is pretty walkable.
Yes. Yeah, there are lots of points in Paris where you can see, like, everything.
Yeah, it's not terribly surprising. Everything's pretty close together. It's like, wait a minute. You mean I can...
also very tall, so...
I was like, you mean I can walk from the Arc de Triomphe to the Louvre to the Eiffel Tower to Notre Dame de Paris in just under 2 hours? Yes, pretty much.
I'd recommend climbing the Eiffel Tower during the day so you can see everything in the daylight.
That's
and then the
true.
Arc de Triomphe at night so you can see the Eiffel Tower lit up.
Yeah.
For people not understanding the history behind Scat Cat, it was intended to be voiced by Louis Armstrong, and so that explains his appearance and in playing the trumpet.
And also
he wasn't able to.
But Scatman Crothers?
Yeah, Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers was able to do the voice.
So at least they still got a black jazz musician.
Yep.
But he still has the mannerisms of Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. And Scatman Crothers doing his best send-up to Louis Armstrong as well. Now that's an American hippie, like legit.
Oh, no. That's the English cat.
That's the English cat?
Yes, Lord Tim Hudson.
Huh.
It was one of the buzzards in Jungle Book.
Ah. Well, there were a lot of hippies out there, too.
So different.
And then Thurles Ravencroft.
1910. Interesting.
Yeah. That's true. The movie would have made sense. Like, when it comes out in 1970, having that 60s style hippie makes sense, but in 1910, Paris doesn't really make sense.
Here we go.
Okay, there's a clarinet
I'm try
there.
not to sing along for sinking.
I know, right? But man, there's a lot of fun in this whole song. And that banjo just...
most iconic song in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if people have never seen this movie, they at least have heard of this song at some point.
And then, I love the bit where he falls through the straw hat. It's great.
In contrast to the first musical number we had.
Yeah. So yeah, we got the Thurl Ravenscroft as the Russian cat playing on the big bass. And then they're on the piano
again, and they're both vibing.
Yep. Square in the act, you can set music back to the caveman days.
And then she sings again.
She's pretty good.
I like singing this. She's so cute, too.
So is that... You know, I'm looking at the hat, and I'm looking at the accordion, the concertina. I'm thinking... Oh, God. That's worse than I remember. He's doing the... He's doing the... He's doing the R's for L's thing. Ouch. Yikes.
He's Italian. Thurl Ravenscroft's supposed to be Russian.
Yep.
Because, you know, it's Russian blue.
And here we go. Those 8 bars. Oh, boy. Youch. Oh, Paul Winchell. Why? You know what? I think those 8 bars of the song might actually be more racist than the entirety of Song of the South, because at least the actors in Song of the South were black for all those characters. You know, at least they had black actors playing all the roles in Song of the South, but this is egregious. It's just, oh god.
Yeah, but again, you can't cut him out because he's the one playing all the percussion.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't cut him out, because to pretend that these things never exist, because... yeah, I can definitely see what...
Yeah, turn me on. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Anyway, a squad makes a good point. Actually, unlike Japanese, there actually are L's in the Chinese language. Okay.
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
Also, he's a Siamese cat.
It's all racist. It's all horribly racist. Because the thing is that the racist caricatures... the racist caricatures of black people in minstrel shows and shit were all based on, you know, people who were enslaved and brought over from multiple different areas, so to the point where even they didn't know where they came from. But the Asian caricatures were just horrifying hybrids of every racist thing that
here we go.
they could say. Here's the moment. Everybody wants to be a cat.
Hallelujah!
Yep. Love it.
And
this
moment.
They're
falling to the floor, and they're still playing. Go.
Falling to the beat too. And then
and even when
take their busted up instruments,
broken, they still play.
I love how George Bruns has. I love how George Bruns has orchestrated this too, because now it's a little more dinky because the instruments are broken. And they're walking off.
And one thing I will respect to the Chinese cat is the way he repurposed the piano. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a cute visual, you know?
And here we go. We're going to see that moment Thomas decides that, he loves his family.
Yeah. But
and
it's still...
He wants them in his life.
He wants them in his life, but he's still hesitant to join them.
I mean, that look right there. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I love
there does yeah, but there does come a caveat soon.
Well,
I love this. Yeah. And the celluloid drop shadow that you can see there. You can see it on Marie here, too. I love it. It's just that human element where it's like, you can tell that it's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to hear that again later. Keep an ear out for that soundbite again.
Yeah, but the way he was looking at them, I
want to be perfectly honest. You want to bet that the kids were just riffing that in the recording booth, and then they just, again, just animated it? Like, they were just having fun. It was like, they did it.
Oh, and now these kids are acting like, you remember in Despicable Me 2 when Agnes is like, are you single?
Right. Particularly.
You know, maybe that's what Marie was thinking when she saw Thomas.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's my new daddy.
Yeah, you're so fuzzy and cute.
She's so fluffy, I'm gonna die, even. Look at her go. Like, it's so sweet. I gotta point out that Duchess does, like, she...
Oh.
Yeah. And they're even prettier than before.
He's like, wow, and it's like, it started out as a line, and then he's just really looking at her like, wow.
Not corny at all. They're just so sweet. She could sense that tongue sticking out at him. Marie's not in love with
Thomas romantically. She's in love with the romance that's happening in front of her, you know?
She ships it so hard. You can even call her the first...
Oh, their tails!
Yeah. You can even call Marie the first Disney shipper.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. And now he's finally seen a possible path for him, which is different than how he was before. Oh, the way his ears perked there.
Yeah. It's so interesting that they never use the word family, but it is felt that the Duchess is, like, yeah, is their mother, in a sense.
Yeah, he respects that too.
Again, like,
I see.
much like the tramp, it's
Oh.
like, so basically,
Aww.
see, they're all pretty
Oh, we almost
disappointed.
had a father. Because it's rare you find someone that all your kids are going to love, and who loves your kids.
Yeah. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, right? Because, like, in Lady and the Tramp, there were no kids attached, no strings attached at all, and the Tramp was, like, he was willing to step away from it for Lady's sake. Like, that horse animation looks a little off to me. Anyone else? The body mechanics weren't quite right. Like, it was just stiffly upright, and then the legs were just going, like, it's kind of weird. Yeah, this is where they live.
We need more positive step-parents in these
Well,
movies.
like, again, between the Tramp, who had, like, who didn't have, like... But, like, it's like, the Tramp, there were no strings attached. But, like, But in this case, strings were attached. And the thing is, they were both willing to step up, and they were both willing to step away as well, when it just didn't quite work out. Off he goes.
Celebrating early. I mean, Madame's still alive.
Yeah.
Doesn't take that into account, because, you know, she could very well live a few years, too.
Edgar's, oh boy.
Just petty
Roquefort, you absolute Chad. He's been so frazzled, he hasn't bothered to take off that raincoat and hat. Oh. It's also very different between Lady and the Tramp, right?
Yeah.
Because in Lady and the Tramp, like, Lady was a proper house pet and, like, in a very normal suburban neighborhood for the period. Whereas here, she's the high life. She's the bourgeoisie. He's even lower on the social ladder than Tramp was to Lady. You know? And she was still willing to go with him and be in a shabby little house. She does want the simplicity. Like, she does like the life she had, but she also really loves O'Malley, and, like, there's something charming to her about the... And probably because she's been so bourgeoisie, that there's something charming to her about the, about the, you know, simpler life, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's in a way that to some people...
so sad.
Yeah.
This is just mean.
That is just... What a bastard. I love him.
Geese, that big hissy. I need to go back and listen to some of these songs again.
They're good songs. What a fucking bastard. I love this guy so much. He's so awful.
It's like, wait a minute, you're running to me?
I mean, he was right, but, like, he's a little bit nervous to be around alley cats in the first place. Again, this is that whole thing about things going wrong for characters before they start to go right. Uh-oh.
That's a face.
Woof.
If I had a nickel for every movie where Sterling Holloway interacted with an orange cat, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it's weird that it happened twice. Oh God, and Paul Winchell's in this movie too. I didn't even think about that. And they immediately changed their tune. Cookie.
Again, between...
The Italian cat just switched sides on the crate.
Yeah, let's be perfectly honest. Like, the Italian, the Russian, and... yeah.
Drunken jokes in Disney.
Yeah. So, like, you have the Russian cat, the Italian cat, and the British, like, hippie cat. And they're all pretty respectful in terms of their stereotyping, but the Asian cat, ugh. And at least Scatman Crothers at least has that basis of being a really honest-to-goodness send-up to...
He doesn't kill them here either. He just ships them off.
Yeah. And then there's Scatman Crothers doing an honest-to-goodness send-up to Louis Armstrong, but, like, the Asian cat is just so bad. Oh.
Yeah, you know, even the Russian cat, and you thought, given the
Red Scare?
America's standing in with the Russians,
no.
that would be worse. But I guess not.
No. Wait, I guess when you're doing caricatures of other white people, there's like, you know, on the topic of the Red Scare, he's using a sickle to attack O'Malley.
Oh my God. This is 1910.
It could just be book about farming.
Shortly. I mean, this is 1910, shortly before the Russian Revolution. So.
Off he goes. Yeah. Real close call there.
That again.
Nope.
Like, nope.
You're getting it.
Here they're pretty simplified, too.
If a mouse's ear can't hear the tumblers ticking, then who else can? Again, this movie's a fucking cartoon. I absolutely love... And then just go right back into it. I love it. I love it. It's so great.
Oh, I love how he grabbed Marie first. Like, Marie's definitely going to be a daddy's little princess.
Honestly, Edgar, it may very well be. Absolutely washed up. Old man didn't know what hit him. And kick him right
and
in
gets
there.
Revenge too for you slapping her behind.
Yep. And here comes another. Ooh, actually, this might be the delivery truck from 101 Dalmatians. Because again, they have those rotoscope models like on standby to just film in stop motion, and then they just played the same animation backward.
Yeah. And this. Again. The third time.
Yep. I mean, and it all turns out real well in the end. Okay, Blue Heart, you know, you say he'd be dead by the time he gets to Timbuktu, but remember, this movie has been so cartoonish up to this point. He's gonna make it to Timbuktu and live to regret it.
Maybe at some point they would have heard, like, that, help me, get out of here, in the trunk, and, like,
get me out of this trunk! And then in his fury, it's like, I'm gonna say that he probably even, like, Bugs Bunny, like when those two guys got shoved in the oven, will be like, get me out of this trunk! I'll confess, I'm the catnapper! Take me to jail, just don't send me to Timbuktu! Yeah.
He's like, yes, this is our daddy.
And again, the animators made a big stink about how...
well, okay. I really wish they did that Aristocats too. I would have wanted to see how they were as a family. A spin-off would be nice.
You know, it would be nice to return to the...
Like a kitty cat.
You know, it'd be really good if they did with the... Yep. Yep.
I mean, people do that all the time. They and that can keep going.
Yep.
Hey, there are quite a few. Hold on, there were quite a few clones in that shot.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Was the Siamese cat at the piano and at the drum set?
And Scat Cat was playing the trumpet and the trombone.
Whoops.
I mean, they could have very well been a different color lighting. I don't know.
I mean, let's be honest. They were using that animation from earlier.
Yeah, cat.
Yeah, we're using that animation.
And
crazy colors. It was the 70s, or the early 70s, late 60s when this movie was being. So.
I'm the leader.
Yep.
Not a hat.
Love it. Again, this movie's a cartoon and it's not afraid to be it. It's not afraid to be a cartoon. It's just great.
Can't tell. My head's bobbing to the beat here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, I think that's the origins of the Disney font right there at the end. So that was the Aristocats. Man, aside from that one incredibly racist cat, that was a fun movie.
Oh, God. The songs just can't... They get stuck in your head.
The songs are great. Abraham DeLacy, Giuseppe Casey, Tile, Miss O'Malley, O'Malley the Alley Cat. Like, God.
Yeah, I'm... Like, it's not as hardcore a musical as, like, you know, for example, the Disney Renaissance, but... man, these songs! The few that they have, they really are a jam.
I mean, like, if Dumbo was a more slow-paced and, like classic Disney-style Silly Symphony type cartoon, but stretched out to feature length, this is much more of that over-the-top thing that you might see from a Looney Tunes cartoon. Or a Tex Avery cartoon, but it's done by Disney. And it's also a cartoon that's basically put out to feature length. With a lot of musical numbers. And you know what? I personally think there's a lot of fun to be had in that. It's like, here's what we get, right? Because, like, when you have, like, Lady and the Tramp, as a kid, you might find it a little boring, except for certain scenes, but as an adult, you grow to appreciate it more. Whereas the Aristocats, you love it when you're younger, and unless you're some kind of cartoon nut like we are, then, you may think the movie's, it's a little kiddie, it's a little too much for kids, but it's like, there's great slapstick comedy in here, there's great comic dialogue, and the songs are also fiendishly clever in their lyrics as well. It's like,
And like the immediate romantic chemistry between Thomas and Duchess.
As if love at first sight wasn't a thing, you know? It's like,
Okay, but you know, it's not even like let's get married kind of love. It's like, yeah, you're kind of cute,
yeah.
and just the romantic banter. It's that.
Yeah,
It's,
and then
you know,
we have like
yeah.
they have like a couple of days with each other, like 3 days tops, to really get to know each other.
And he goes from like, you know, flirting with this cute cat, and then seeing, oh, she's got a family, but you know, I'll help her out, and then slowly goes to with interacting with the kids, trying to make light of their perilous situation.
I mean, it's like
And-
he sees
Yeah.
he's flirting with her. He sees that she has a family. It's like, oh, I don't want to ruin this family. There's probably a man involved in this family, so I should step away from it. But then he's like, you know what? I should help him along, but this is as far as I go. But then when the littlest cat is in trouble, he's always coming in clutch when Marie is in trouble. And it's like, that's what gets him roped into the whole journey. He's like, you know what? You guys need more help than I realized, so I'm taking you all the way down. So let's just, yeah. It's like,
and I love seeing...
I'm going to be your guide to the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, I love seeing all the kids slowly falling in love with Thomas. Like, Marie loves how romantic Thomas is. Again,
Yeah.
she's not in love with him romantically. She loves how romantic he is with her mom.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah, and... Yeah, and then Toulouse, he's like, this guy's so cool. I want to be like him when I grow up. And we don't see Berlioz like one-on-one with Thomas a lot, but I think it's the music that's really getting
Honestly,
him.
I think Berlioz gets more involved with Thomas, like, cause Marie likes the idea of the dad who finally has romance with her mother. Berlioz really likes like having a dad. Is like, finally so many girls. Like, I only have my brother. It's like, so many girls. We're outnumbered basically. and then Berlioz is like, oh man, he can teach me how to be a real fighter. I've already got the chops for it.
Dude, I think you've got Toulouse and Berlioz mixed up.
Toulouse is
the orange one.
Yeah.
That looks like Thomas weirdly.
Toulouse is like, he could teach me how to fight because I've already got the stuff for it. You know.
Yeah, and then Berlioz, I think, really loves the jazzy music and. You know,
because he's
the musical one.
Yeah, you're right. He does like the musical side of things. Yeah. But yeah, no.
He's the little Mozart.
I'll tell you, Blue Heart, Disney better not remake this as live action.
No.
Because here's the thing.
If they're gonna do anything, do like a spin-off series like they've done with 101 Dalmatians. Like, why not?
Exactly. Because here's the thing. Like, talking animal movies, the only time I've seen the CGI mouths on talking animals look good is Stuart Little, and that's because the technology was new. Every other talking animal movie, from the buddy movies to cats versus dogs, all of them look horrible. They all look horrible. They look cheap. The talking animal movies look bad. Animation is where talking animal movies belong. Just full stop.
Yes. Well, except in cases like Babe, but that
again, Babe was like budding technology. It was new, and they also used animatronics and puppets sometimes, so it wasn't all just CGI mouths.
I didn't get to talk about this in the Jungle Book, but have you heard of the Baloo conspiracy theory?
What's Baloo conspiracy theory?
Okay, so you know, Phil Harris voices Baloo and
Right.
voices Thomas O'Malley
Right.
and voices Little John.
Right.
And think about it. So Baloo, they're all mentor figures to like somebody.
Uh-huh.
Baloo to Mowgli. Thomas is Thomas. Well, most notably Toulouse, and then Little John, kind of the sort of big mentor figure to what's his name, the little rabbit kid in Robin Hood.
Yeah, and kind of an older brother.
Yes,
to
and
Robin Hood
then
himself.
we have not voiced by Phil Harris, but Baloo and Tailspin.
Yeah.
With Kit.
Yeah.
And so the theory is that Baloo keeps getting reincarnated, and he's still looking for his little britches.
Aww. That's actually kind of
So,
sweet.
yes,
Well,
it is sweet.
That is kind of sweet. I kind of dig
yes,
that.
he keeps getting reincarnated.
I kind of dig that. Yeah. You know,
Yeah. So,
that's kind of
yeah.
sweet. It may just be the best in these roles, but like, you know. But yeah.
Skippy, that was the name of the rabbit. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Which we will be
Maybe I
getting,
would say his name
which we'll be
once.
getting into next week. But like to be more on top of the whole Aristocats thing, like
What is now picturing Baloo on Doctor Who? Oh my god, yeah. It's an impossible bear situation.
yeah, cause like yeah, no, I really think like animated movies is where talking animal movies belong. And you know what? It would be fun to see them do a spin-off series, TV series. They could even try being a little less racist by having like the incredibly racist cat off the show, and so instead his sister is in town and she could be a little better Siamese
Actually voiced by someone who's Asian, yes.
Someone who is from Siam, even who is a Siamese background,
Thai,
or a Thai.
Thai.
Yeah, I forget.
Now it's Thailand.
Yeah.
I mean,
Someone
granted,
with
the cat is still called a Siamese cat. But
someone with a Thai background could play the cat's sister. He had to head out, but like his sister's in town.
And why not? With all the Thai representation we've been having.
Yeah,
in Disney
between
shows.
like
Not just
Ghost
one
of Molly
show,
McGee and Amphibia, it's just great. But yeah, no, I definitely think that'd be fun, you know, to really do that for like the Aristocats, because it's a fun cast of characters. And oh god, can you imagine if Kevin Michael Richardson voiced Scat Cat?
Oh yeah,
That would be great.
You could pull it off too.
Yeah. Or that other guy, the guy who played Lewis in the Princess and the Frog.
Michael Leon Woolley.
Michael Leon Woolley.
Because he was. Oh my god.
He was a very Louis Armstrong inspired character in that movie, so that'd be pretty fitting.
Another one, yes.
So that'd be very fitting. But with that beautiful idea, Disney, get on it. Thank you all so much for joining us. And if you are viewing this and watching it all after the fact, thanks for watching. And until next time, remember to take care, stay safe, and be kind in all that you do. Good night, everybody!
Bonsoir!